It's a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Ohio.
The game that wouldn't end finally ended, and not well for the Tribe in Houston. But a day off and a return home may be just the tonic to return the Indians to the win column. And the fact that Mr. Streak Stopper himself, Josh Tomlin, is on the mound isn't too shabby. We'll see if Jason Kipnis can stay hot on Friday the 13th. Next on Sports Time Ohio. A beautiful spring day in downtown Cleveland as the Minnesota Twins come calling for a 3-game weekend series against the Tribe. Minnesota's Joe Mauer just 19 hits shy of becoming the 4th all-time leading hitter in Twins history. And Carlos Santana, he's belted 18 home runs against Minnesota in his career. That's tied for the most against any opponent. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Hopefully you don't suffer from triskaidekaphobia.
I do not.
This Friday the 13th. And hopefully Jason Kipnis doesn't either, because, Rick, he's on a tear again. I don't know if he's going to duplicate what we saw a season ago in the month of May, but he's well on his way to having another special month.
Well, let's hope he does, because last month of May, he had 51 hits in that month. And when you look at him last game, he was hitting the ball beautifully, just where it's pitched everywhere. Could have really had 6 hits in that ball game. But you get him going at the top of the lineup, he's going to get on base. Unfortunately, nobody else could get it going last game. But in his last 2 games, 7 for 11. And look at last month of May, a .429 average, 51 hits, 30 runs, and it's very select company.
Well, the Indians have Josh Tomlin on the hill, and that means they don't lose, because when he pitches after an Indians loss, he's money in the bank when it comes to getting him back in the win column.
Well, you want him on the mound the way he's pitched. I mean, after an Indians loss, he's unstoppable. But he's had very good control. His lone, maybe slow start or bad game, if you will, it was against Minnesota, but he still found a way to win that ball game. And you can see in his last 13 starts, the Indians are 12-0, a fine .282 earned run average. The last 2 years, since being healthy and coming back, 12-2 out of his 15 starts. You got to love it.
Josh Tomlin has faced 117 batters this year. He's walked 2 of them. The last one, Joe Mauer, who's leading off tonight for Minnesota. When we come back, we'll get the latest from the Tribe's clubhouse from Andre Knott right here at Progressive Field as the Indians get set to take on the Minnesota Twins. Well, at least for today, it feels like spring here in northeastern Ohio. Beautiful afternoon as we roll on into evening here in downtown Cleveland as the Indians welcome in the Minnesota Twins. Should be an interesting series. The Tribe, after dropping a disappointing series in Houston, will try to get back on the winning track here tonight. And it's a Minnesota Twins team that's really struggling, but you know they're going to bring the fight here to Cleveland because they've gone 2-1 against the Tribe, and I don't think they've won a game in the division against anyone else.
Well, there you have it.
Let's go down to Andre Knott. Andre, how's things?
Oh, things are very well. Thank you for asking, Matt. I brought protection today, so I'm good to go. As you talk about the Twins, they went 12-7 last year versus the Cleveland Indians, and as you already mentioned, they're 1-2 this season versus the Twins. So I asked Jason Kipnis, I go, what is it about the Twins and the Cleveland Indians? And he goes, you know, every team has a team they just have issues with. He goes, you look in our division, they've had trouble with the White Sox. We've done very well versus the Tigers. He goes, but we have to get past this. We play good games with them, but we can't allow them to think that they can be on the field with us. He says, we're a close team, but it's time for us to play better. The other thing that he looks at is just the state of where the team is at. He goes, look, we're one game over 500, but he goes, we could be better. We have not taken care of our business as hitters. He goes, we have to be more consistent as a hitting team. More guys have to swing the bat better. Our pitching is where it's supposed to be. It's time for the rest of us to pick up the slack. One last thing. They mentioned the 16-inning game. Kip told me I may have been the only guy in the park that wanted that game to keep going. Yeah. He wanted 6 hits, baby. He wanted to keep swinging it because he feels real comfortable at the plate. Also, this wiffle ball bat can be had by all kids Sunday for Kids Fun Day here at Progressive Field.
Part of the Play Ball initiative, spearheaded by Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred. Thanks for that report, Andre. And Rick, we saw Jason Kipnis firsthand last year have a month of May like we have never seen before, may never see again. But hopefully that good feeling is getting back with him offensively, because with Michael Brantley out of the lineup yet again, they need him.
Well, no doubt. And, you know, Kip can do that. But you know what? You also need other people. You know, you got to get guys on. This is a team that has to play together 1 through 9. No one guy can carry this team. So if he gets going, maybe somebody else will as well.
Josh Tomlin getting ready for the Tribe. Here's the lineup he will face for Paul Molitor and the scuffling Minnesota Twins. Joe Mauer is going to lead things off. Eduardo Nunez batting second. Miguel Sano hits third. Then it's Trevor Plouffe, Young-Ho Park. Brian Dozier dropped to the 6th spot in the lineup tonight. Oswaldo Arcia batting 7th. Kurt Suzuki 8th. And Danny Santana, a switch hitter, bats 9th.
And our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher is going to be Josh Tomlin. His 6th start of the year. Josh is coming off a start against Kansas City. It's a win, of course. He went 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs. The Royals, he held them scoreless for 3 innings, allowed a leadoff double and then a 2-run homer to Eric Hosmer, but ended up getting the win, and only one of 6 pitchers with a undefeated record with at least 5 wins. So Josh, always good after an Indians loss. Let's hope that continues. Now we can check out the defense behind him, which is brought to you by Jeep. It looks like this. Ramirez gets the start in left field. Davis is in center. Bird over in right. Uribe at third. Lindor at short. Kipnis is at second. Napoli at first. Gomes doing the catching.
The umpiring crew. Ted Barrett, the crew chief, has the plate. Angel Hernandez at first. Sean Barber down at second. Will Little at third. 62 degrees at game time. Decent breeze. Looks like it's blowing in towards left, but might carry the ball out toward right center field. Minnesota limps in, having lost 7 in a row. 9 out of their last 10. With the mark of 8-25, that's tied for the worst record in all of baseball. First pitch from Josh Tomlin, down low, ball 1. Mentioned that the Twins beat the Indians 2 out of 3 at Target Field, but they are 0-12 against the rest of the Central Division. And that in and of itself tells you something too, Rick. Minnesota's 6-10 at home, but they've lost 13 out of 15 on the road.
They've really struggled.
I'm sorry, 15 out of 17 on the road.
They've really struggled. And this is a team where you got to keep them down when you have them. You know, the Indians had opportunities. They had a couple of 1-run ball games in Minnesota that the Indians certainly could have won.
Now the 2-1. Just did catch the bottom of the strike zone. Mauer doesn't like it. And the count evens up.
And this is Minnesota's new leadoff man, Joe Mauer. You can see that ball is down in the strike zone. It's called. We have not seen many low strikes this year, but that one was called, and it did not look like it for sure.
Stays 2-2 after the foul back.
Yeah, there's a number of times we commented on, boy, that looked pretty good down there. And we've seen more called a little higher than lower.
Swinging a foul back. You look at Joe Mauer and you look at Carlos Santana. Not exactly your prototypical leadoff type hitters, but Mauer hits for a high average. Santana has a good eye on base percentage. Yeah, Mauer does walk a lot too. Yeah,
he had a streak of what 28 straight games where he reached base to start this year.
Smashed right at Lindor. The shortstop gobbles it up and throws him out. Keys to the game are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Limit Park and his power. Young Ho Park with 7 home runs, batting 5th for the Twins tonight. He's the one guy that can hurt you with the long ball. And for Ricky Nolasco, make him uncomfortable. Get some traffic going. Get him out of the stretch. Here is Eduardo Nunez. He's one Minnesota Twin that's swinging the bat extremely well. Batting .353. And over the 25 games he has played, he's banged out 30 hits and 85 at bats. Lifts this one on the infield. Jason Kipnis. And there are 2 down.
For Minnesota, batting third, the right fielder, number 22, Miguel Sano.
Miguel Sano, a big man with power. But like a lot of these young Twins players, and hey, we've seen this right here in Cleveland. You get young players, get that opportunity, they get their feet wet. Now the league starts to know them, starts to find some of their holes. Can they make the adjustment back now?
Well, that has a lot to do with how some of the young Minnesota players have handled it. You know, Buxton already sent out. There were some guys, some of their top prospects that were going to get a lot more playing time, and Sano being one of them, because now he's playing the outfield instead of third base with Trevor Plouffe they have there. But he played a couple games at third base when we were in Minnesota.
Right.
But out of position, you know, just a lot of different things have gone wrong with Minnesota, and they're having a tough time stopping that downward trend. And pitching's the big reason.
The 1-2. Rick, I don't know if it's economics or if it's just the current state of baseball in general, but the Indians, the Twins, and I'm sure there are other teams, as you said, they've got players maybe playing out of position, trying to plug holes on the roster. And again, that could be just a cycle that these organizations are in, where they just don't have enough guys to kind of fill those spots, so they're trying to piecemeal it together in the short term.
Well, it doesn't. A lot of times it doesn't work out. You've got to have those guys there to play every day. That's why they're everyday ball players. And it's tough when you're playing a platoon system. And you know, some people think it works, and if you have maybe the right personnel, maybe it does.
Tomlin working to Miguel Sano here with 2 down in the first inning. And the 3-2 pitch is hit high in the air, deep left center field, and this baby is long gone.
Boy,
I mean, halfway up the bleachers.
That's what you talk about power. You see, Tomlin made a mistake, and Sano hit that ball a ton. That's number 5 on the year for Sano, so Minnesota will play from in front. And as soon as that ball left the bat, Davis in center field, he just turned around. He knew there was no way he would have had to catch a cab to get it. You watch right there. Middle in, turned on it. No stride, just raw power. So that's the 5th home run given up by Tomlin, and the 29th hit by the Twins.
Well, Minnesota grabs a quick lead on the solo home run. And when the Twins score first, this is what's really staggering, I think, for Minnesota. When they score first, they're only 2-10 on the year.
Yeah, well, that comes to pitching then. And Tomlin had Sano down in the count 0-2.
But here again, this is a case where Josh Tomlin, that's what he's going to do. He's going to challenge you. He's not going to walk people.
Hey, there's nothing. Give up a solo home run. It's no harm. It's a first inning. It takes him a while to get rolling. For Tomlin, you know, in that first inning, his ERA is 7.20 this year. So if you get him, you try and get him early, like a lot of starters. Solo home run is no big deal in the first.
We'll see if the Indians can counter when they come to bat. That's been a problem for Minnesota. They've been outscored 26-16 in the first inning coming into tonight. Right at Lindor. He gobbles it up and he flips it across. The inning is over. But Miguel Sano has the Twins off and running early. They lead 1-0. The Indians are coming to bat. The Indians will roll out this lineup tonight for Terry Francona, brought to you by Progressive. Carlos Santana in the leadoff spot DHing. Jason Kipnis red hot bats second. Francisco Lindor third. Then it's Mike Napoli, Jose Ramirez batting fifth. Marlon Berg in the sixth hole. Yan Gomes, Juan Uribe, and Rajay Davis rounding it out.
Ricky Nolasco is the Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher for the Twins. Nolasco, he is 33 years old, 6'2", 235, his 7th start. He beat the Tribe, he did not beat the Tribe. He had a no decision against the Tribe last time we were in Minnesota. He pitched well though, 7 1/3 innings, 5 hit, and 4 runs. Had a season high 9 strikeouts.
Pitch outside, ball 1 to Carlos Santana. Santana with a long fly ball to right. Sano moving over into the gap makes the catch. 1 down.
The Twins defense behind Nolasco looks like this. Arcia is in left field, Santana in center, and Sano over there in right, who just made that play. Plouffe is at third, who was not playing against the Indians in Minnesota. Nunez at short, Dozier is at second, Mauer at first, Suzuki behind the plate.
Terry Francona, Brad Mills watching Jason Kipnis head to the plate. The thing you noticed, or at least I noticed with Jason, and especially in that last game when he had the 5 hits, I mean, he's hitting the ball to all fields. Basically, he's hitting it where they're pitching it, not trying to do too much or not trying to do something that maybe would induce an easy out. But hey, pitch me a whale, I'll stroke it that way for him. Pitch me in, I'll turn on it, pull it in the hole.
That's what he did all last May. He was driving the ball to left center field. How many hits and doubles did he have down the left field line? He was wearing out left center field. And what in turn what that does, when you prove that somebody you're going to go the other way and take them, it gets you pitches on the inside part of the plate. And he loves to turn on that ball that's down and in.
Popped, slicing, foul, and fan reached over, I think, and interfered with the ball, but it's no play is the ruling by the umpire. Paul Molitor's coming out though. He's looking out there like he wants to have a conversation, or would he?
Well, he may have him take a look at it. Yes.
Replay challenge.
Yes, he may take a look at it down the third baseline and saying, did they interfere?
Fan interference is something that you can challenge on the replay.
And that's what he's going to look at as they go close to the line. I think that ball, I don't know if he would have got there, and it looked like it would have went, hit off at the top, but you can't tell. Not from that angle, because a fan did reach over and touch it as that ball was coming down. Now, maybe he's pleading his case to Molitor, saying, no, he wouldn't have gotten it because it would have hit the side of the wall or went into the seats. We don't know.
Will Little is giving his side of it to Paul Molitor, and it looks like Molitor has decided because of that, I won't challenge.
Well, when you're going the way the Twins are, you got to take everything into consideration, and if you can get a free out, you take it. That's exactly what he was trying to do.
Ball's in the dirt, and it's 2-2. Once the count got to 2 strikes, the Twins took the third baseman Plouffe and put him on the right side of the infield. Before that, he was over on the left side, but once he got to 2 strikes, they go to a shift against Kipnis. In the dirt, full count. Not really sure. Obviously, they have data that would support that kind of decision, but again, Jason's a guy who will use the whole field, but they figure with 2 strikes, he's more prone to pull it. Even though he's fouled a couple of balls off to the left side with 2 strikes.
He'll pull it on the ground is what they're betting, and in the air they're playing him over there in left field, and that's the defense, the defensive way to play him.
And the payoff pitch is right back at him, and it got a piece of him, but it carried him right to Trevor Plouffe, who throws him out. 2 down. He says he's fine. I don't know if it just was a glancing blow off of his forearm or where it even got him.
Let's see if it catches leather. Gets his glove up and
it
goes
sure
off the
did.
end of the glove.
Yep.
And that ball was hit so hard, he's just protecting himself, and he was fortunate enough to get some leather on it, although Plouffe would have been there anyway, I think, if it gets by him. But that ball was hammered. And the last out that Kipnis made in Houston, it was that ball up to shortstop. They made a great play, if you remember.
Yep. Francisco Lindor. Breaks his bat. And behind the bag, Mauer takes it himself. The Indians go quickly here in the first. 1-0 Twins after an inning. On top 1-0. And Minnesota will have Byung-Ho Park leading it off, the Twins DH. Young man from Korea with 7 home runs, but only 12 RBIs, which tells you a lot of those have been solo shots.
Yeah, but he hit one. He can hit them a long way. Great power to the middle part of the field. Right center, center, left center.
There's a long fly ball to deep left, and that one's gone. Halfway up the bleachers in straightaway left field, and quickly 2-0 Minnesota on their second solo home run of the night.
Well, both those balls, well, we showed you Sano. His ball was middle in, and let's take a look at this pitch by Parkus right down the middle. And that man has some very good power. That is home run number 8.
Here's Brian Dozier, dropped to the 6th spot in the lineup by Paul Molitor tonight. Part of the reasoning for that is that he's just 2 for 15 in his career against Josh Tomlin. And he bloops one into center field for a base hit. Well, the Indians made a roster move earlier this afternoon. Let's go down to Andre for more on that.
Well, yes, Lonnie Chisenhall is not with the team currently, as he's on the bereavement list, as he's had a close member in his family pass away. So Tyler Naquin is back for the team for the weekend. He told me, look, his main thing right now is his concern for the family of Lonnie Chisenhall, but he's here to help. He did play a little right field down in Columbus. He worked on his defense when he was down there, but he was excited to be back. But he said his main concern was Lonnie Chisenhall's family, but he would do whatever the team needs in these 3 days that he's going to be here at least.
All right, thanks, Andre. Oswaldo Arcia, swing and a miss.
You know, that last start that Tomlin had against Minnesota back on the 27th of April, he went 5 1/3 innings, 6 hits and 4 runs. He did allow 1 home run, but he ended up getting the win in that game.
Upstairs, 1-1. Minnesota came into tonight's game dead last in the American League in runs scored. They're averaging just 3.3 runs per ball game. The Indians have actually scored 21 more runs than the Twins have scored coming in, despite playing 2 fewer games.
Yeah, and you know, when you talk about that offense, you also look at Minnesota's pitch. It's second to last in the league with a 485. Only Oakland has a higher one, and that's because they just left Boston. And Boston hasn't stopped hitting. They scored 11 off Houston last night.
And a 1-2. Arcia goes into a low squat, and it's 2-2. Now the 2-2, swung on and missed. He strikes him out. 1 away. First strikeout for Tomlin. Our stat of the game is brought to you by Buick. And Minnesota came out of the gate stumbling, losing their first 9. And kind of held their own, but boy, they have plummeted in their last 12 ball games. Torrey Hunter, who was a tremendous influence for the Twins as a veteran presence in the clubhouse and still was able to contribute on the field as well. But he's now retired, but he was asked recently about Minnesota's slow start because he watches it closely from from afar, and he said, quote, "These guys are young and don't know what they're supposed to be in the major leagues. Great talents, but they're trying to figure things out while the league figures them out," which goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, you're right. To me, they do miss him. He was playing every day, and you know, it was his time to step aside. You know, he may be in the organization or whatever in the near future, but to lead the young players, you need somebody on the field between the lines. You need the veteran players to show some of the young kids the way, because they all can't do it at once.
Well, something you and I have talked a lot about over the years when it comes to, you know, scouting and looking at players, and when you're trying to figure out if a guy's a fit for your team. And it's something that Torrey was talking about with regards to the young players. He said you can look at a guy and see he has all the talent in the world, but how's his heart? How is his fire? And how does he react to adversity?
Right.
Until you go through it, it's hard to evaluate that.
Well, you pick out your. Here's what I would do. I'd pick out the veterans that are there. Mauer. You know, let's say Dozier. Dozier hasn't been there all that long. Trevor Plouffe maybe. And those are the guys. And Suzuki behind the plate. You know, those are the guys that have to teach these guys the way to do it, or lead them in the right direction.
Well, a rare walk for Josh Tomlin, but Kurt Suzuki, it seems like the Indians walk him every time he comes to the plate this year.
It's been that way, hasn't it?
It's only the third walk issued by Tomlin, and this is his 6th start. But first time through the order, Twins have tattooed him for a couple of home runs. And now Danny Santana, the number 9 hitter.
Yeah, that was his 125th batter faced, and he issues his 3rd walk.
He had gone 18 innings without issuing a walk. The last walk issued was Joe Mauer and that series in Minnesota earlier this year. Pitch up high. Ball 1 to Danny Santana.
Santana has liked facing the Indians so far. Right now, home plate moving a little bit for Tomlin. With Suzuki, that was only his 2nd 3-0 count of the year to a hitter that he had on Suzuki, and now he's behind Santana, 2-0.
Two balls and a strike. Unusual to see Tomlin work from behind and kind of struggle with the command. Normally he's spot on there. Santana golfs one to left center. Ramirez moving over, called off at the last moment by Davis, who makes the catch.
Ramirez has to remember the center fielder's in charge. If he likes it and his momentum's coming this way, it's his baseball. Get out of the way and back him up. Indians baseball is live with the MLB.com @bat app. You can stay connected all season with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com @bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Back to the top of the order already. Here's Joe Mauer. Mauer ground out his first time up. Nice block by Gomes. Mauer takes a strike to even the count at 1-1. One of the things that Torrey Hunter did say in that story that was in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune today was really a sort of in a roundabout way. It was a show of support for Paul Molitor and the coaching staff, lest anyone should think, well, let's throw those guys under the bus for the Twins' poor start this year. And he said, look, those guys probably feel worse than the players do. Because he said, you know, you don't want to see your players have to go through this. But in a way, it's understandable, because when you can't do anything about it, all you can do is feel bad. When you're a player, you don't feel so bad because you're just trying to survive. You're trying to play every day and get your body ready and go out and play. But the coaches, they're the ones that kind of wear the long faces when things don't go well. As Mauer swings and misses, but the throw down off the glove of Lindor, backed up quickly by Kipnis.
Well, the coaches are the first ones there. The last ones to leave. They work with these guys, and you know, for all the hard work that they put in, they want to see these guys have success, knowing how much work they put in. And you know, it doesn't matter. Every team does it, and every team goes through slumps. And I'll tell you, it does get very frustrating sometimes. And I think you go in their clubhouse and it's awfully quiet right now, because there's not a whole lot of fun being had when you're losing. It's no fun whatsoever.
2 on, 2 out, 2-2 pitch. And Mauer fouls it out of play. But baseball has always been a great metaphor for life. And when you go through these kind of struggles like the Twins are going through now, like the Indians have gone through before, if you survive it, if you can make it through, it makes you stronger, makes you better in the long run.
Right.
If you can survive it.
Well, you have to. You've got no other choice. You got to survive it and move on. Now, by the time they get through it, maybe survive it, may be way too late to do anything about it this year. Because we know what it's like when you dig yourself a hole, and 8-25, that's more than a hole. That's a really.
The organization will survive. Not some of these players, though. Some of these guys
some of these players already have been designated.
You're right.
After we left Minnesota. Tommy Malone, Casey Fiend.
Runners go. 3-2 pitch. Man, didn't miss by much, but it's ball 4. And Tomlin has walked 2 in the inning after walking 2 in his first 5 starts.
And Mauer was one of the last guys he walked, I think, in Minnesota.
Now a very, very selective hitter. Long inning for Tomlin.
Well, he's not a 50-50 guy when it comes to balls and strikes. He normally is a 70-60, between 65 and 70% strikes at all times. 7th
man to bat in the inning is Eduardo Nunez, who popped up his only time up. And he's been on a roll for Minnesota. And this is one of those spots early in the game where, okay, maybe Josh doesn't have it tonight, but he's 1 hit away from letting Minnesota get fat and sassy here.
Well,
if he can keep him,
he can give him some pulse, right? If he can get out of this, you're still pretty good.
One and one.
Well, that's what happened when we were in Minnesota. If you remember, they were coming off a 16-inning loss to the Nats.
That's right.
They came home, and the Indians had them down, and what ended up happening, was it a walk-off?
Yeah, the bullpen.
Gave them a little momentum and a little life.
Well, the bases are loaded with 2 outs. And Tomlin falling behind again. 2-1 to Nunez. At the bottom of the zone and evens the count. He's unhappy with the call.
Well, he is. He walked away, and let's see, it's down there. And if it's a low strike tonight, boy, that's the place to put it.
That's a pretty good pitch, though.
Yeah, it was.
And now the 2-2 to right field. And Marlon Byrd makes the catch. Tomlin survives. The Twins leave him loaded. Another solo homer. 2-0 Minnesota. Middle of the second. The Indians will send 4, 5, and 6 to the plate. Against Ricky Nolasco, it'll be Mike Napoli, Jose Ramirez, and Marlon Byrd. Strike to the outside corner. Big curveball, and he drops that in for a strike.
Yeah, that was a pitch that was very good for him back in Minnesota. Close.
Did not go.
Going to try and get him to chase. You see the side view, and he certainly did. He held up.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Napoli leads the Indians in home runs and runs batted in. Slow chopper short, big hop for Nunez. 1 away.
Well, grab your Boys of Summer t-shirt. That'll be tomorrow as the Indians take on the Twins. 10,000 fans will receive a special t-shirt. It's designed by the Cleveland Clothing Company. Visit Indians.com for the tickets. And tomorrow is a 4 o'clock start. Ball game will be on FS1. Matt and I will have the afternoon off.
The 1-0 pitch is a strike call to Ramirez. Punch towards center field, coming hard is Danny Santana. Can't make the play. Ball squirts free. Santana might be hurt. Ramirez is in to second base safely. Trainers are going to come out and take a look at Santana. When he went to try and catch that ball, sometimes the glove gets caught in the ground.
You know, sometimes you have to make a decision. I want to see how close he is. Oh, he could. It was in the glove, but his wrist. His glove got caught underneath and it bent his wrist forward. And see how he turned it over right there. He had that play. The ball did get in the leather, but he didn't have it out in front. And that's what happens when you lag and that glove is down there. Your momentum carries it over, and you end up just rolling over like he did to that wrist. He's very fortunate right there. Could have had a broken wrist.
Marlon Byrd takes a strike. Down low. Byrd has picked up hits in each of his last 2 games, 3 for his last 10 at the plate. And even with somewhat sporadic playing time, he's managed to hit .273 over his last 17 games. Going 15 for 55 with a couple of homers and 8 runs driven in. Drive down 2 early, and Byrd chops it foul over towards Mike Sarbaugh. Upstairs in a full count. Byrd has worked it full with Yan Gomes to follow. And the payoff pitch is strike 3 called. Byrd can't believe it.
He got the breaking ball on the outside edge. It'll be his first strikeout tonight. Is it a perfect pitch? It did. Byrd thought it was outside. He put the bat down and wanted to go somewhere. They're calling that low pitch tonight, so I think the hitters, you got to make an adjustment. That's his first at bat. He can't believe it. But if you're watching, as all the hitters are on both sides, they better make an adjustment.
Well, after watching Josh walk a couple of guys, that's an awfully generous 3-2 call. Yan Gomes sends a high fly ball. Deep left field. Slump over. Gomes with a 2-run jack, and we're tied at 2. Yan Gomes snaps an 0 for 20. The best way you can do it. Sends one to the home run porch, and just like that, we're back to even.
Now there's the spark the Indians needed, and this is the spark that Yan Gomes needed. He needed a base hit badly, and he got a hanging breaking ball, and he hit it out of the ballpark. You can see once that cleared the fence, that's a good trot for him. He certainly needed that.
He told me before the ball game, I said, I'll take anything. I'll take a broken bat bleeder. I'll take anything just to get that good feeling going again. Well, this is all he could have hoped for and more. So 3 balls have left the yard to left field. 2 solo shots for Minnesota and a 2-run homer for the Indians, thanks to Yan Gomes.
Well, the thing I like about that, 2 outs on the board, and you're able to score.
A little bit low. many guys go to the plate looking first pitch for something. But that's the 9th Indians home run this year that was hit on a first pitch. By the mound, slowly chopped to Nunez. And the shortstop throws out Uribe to end the inning. 2 complete. And thanks to Yan Gomes, it's a 2-2 ball game. And we're happy to be joined now by Paul Ossenmacher, former Indian. Great to be with you. How you doing?
Good to be back. Always good to come back to Cleveland.
This is our maiden voyage on our new little in-booth RoboCam.
You got a spy in the booth.
I hope it's not high def.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you what.
Brand new. It's the first time we've used it.
Uh-oh.
What do you think?
That's nice.
Maiden voyage. Yeah, on this end, but I don't know on the receiving end.
Josh Tomlin's given up a couple of solo home runs. One to this guy, Miguel Sano. This time he sends one sky high to center field. And we were saying earlier, Paul, if you're going to give up home runs, a couple of solo shots you can work around those. It's those crooked number homers you want to avoid. Huh?
Absolutely, yeah. Throw strikes if they, sometimes you just got to throw it down the middle, see how far they can hit it, and yeah, stay away from the crooked numbers, like you said.
Josh has done that a couple of times tonight. They have a couple of solo shots, and he gave him some pretty good pitches, but 1 run, a lot better than 2 and 3 run homers.
Here's Trevor Plouffe, grounded out his first time up, and he chops this one quickly to third. Uribe can't come up with it. And so Plouffe is aboard with 1 out here in the third.
Well, one of those hops there, it's a do or die. He wanted to come in and get it on the short hop, and an easier play for him. He just didn't catch the ball. You see, he comes in, he wants to pick it up, and it hits off the end of the glove. They'll give him an error on that play. For the Indians, their 15th error.
Something they've done a great job of up to this point defensively this year. They've been much better than a year ago.
So you say you're in town. You just got done coaching some football, or I mean, some baseball, some spring baseball, high school.
Yeah, high school. We had a good team. We ended up like 25-6 or so, and just lost in the quarterfinal. But it was, I've been around some tough losses in my day. A couple World Series losses, but the loss we had Wednesday was a real hard one to swallow. But it's baseball, and it can be cruel sometimes. But yeah, it was a good year for the kids.
High pop. This might be playable. Napoli over near the dugout. No.
Isn't it funny though how it is? You can say a World Series loss and you equate it to a high school baseball game. It could be just as crushing to you, knowing how hard the kids work. And the game it's true like that no matter where you play it, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it's in your blood, and no matter what level you're coaching and playing, you want to win. And I was speechless after the game. I told the kids, hey, I have no words for you guys. You know, this was a tough loss, and I've been around some tough losses, and I really don't know what to tell you guys this time. But hopefully, in time, you know, it'll move. You know, you get over it. But you know, it is what it is. And you know.
Did you find as you went through your career, not that they're any easier, but you just react to it differently? When you're a kid and you lose in Little League, it's like the world
end
just ended.
End of the world.
As you got older, was it easier, or was it just different?
Probably a little bit of both. I think you know, once you become a father and you know you have kids and stuff, your perspective changes too. With, you know, there's other more issues involved. You know, your kids are sick or other things going on, and you know, when you're playing every day too, you have to be able to forget about it, because you got to be able to bounce back the next day and move on. And you got to wipe it clean, because you can't be going out there the next day thinking about, you know, the outing you had before if it was a tough outing. So you have to you know, you got to mentally be strong and, you know, forget about it. And
that's what makes baseball so crazy, though, because you play every day for 6 months. You deal with losses because they happen regularly, and if you get into October, your season ends suddenly.
Yeah.
Whereas during the season, there's always another game to play. But in October, they tell you, oh, no, you're done now. Go home.
Yeah, it is a strange feeling that, yeah, you're used to that routine. Then the next thing you know, it's over and done with. It's like, what do I do with myself? Because you've been doing that since spring training, and then, you know, 6 months of the season. And, yeah, once it's over, it's like, you know.
There's pretty much only one team that goes home winning at the end, and that's all that counts, is the one that wins the World's Championship, and that's it.
Did you need time, Paul, when seasons ended? Did you need time to decompress when you got home? Oh my, he did it again. Gung Ho Park for the second time tonight has gone deep, and neither one of them a cheapie. This is a 2-run shot, and it quickly restores Minnesota's 2-run advantage. Boy, he got into that one.
This kid, it's his third home run against us. And I'll tell you what, he has some raw power. I mean, let's take a look at the swing and the pitch. It looked like a little cutter coming inside that stayed inside. It didn't cut.
Boy,
and they have a tendency to go a long way, those cutters. But he pulled his hands in, and this guy likes to extend it. But yeah, you see how tight he pulled those hands, and he's got great power. So his second home run, he give him 3 RBIs, and wow.
I
Twins
know,
answer it. They come right back.
I know that feeling. That ball got real small. I know that feeling.
That was often after an 0-2 pitch too. He finally got ahead. He lost his control last inning. Now you get 0-2 and then give up a bomb. They strike right back, take momentum away. All right, I got a question for you for high school. Now, you guys don't rely on bullpens, sort of like baseball's getting nowadays, do you? Down there, you're pretty much starters oriented.
Yeah, you know, you usually can get by with like three top line pitchers and maybe a couple guys in relief. But for instance, what bothers me at the high school level is some of these coaches and the amount of pitches they have these kids throw. We play in a best of 3 series. In the first game, this kid came in to close out the game, and he threw the last 2 innings, and he threw like 40-some pitches, but he warmed up 2 or 3 times. So we split each one of them games, so then we have to play the rubber match the next day. He started the game through 7 innings, 140-some pitches.
Back to back.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I popped to center. Rajay coming in, and Davis puts it away, 2 down.
So in 2 days, he threw like 188 pitches, something like that. So I figured his next trip is going to go see Dr. Andrews.
Yeah, well, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. That is ridiculous, isn't it, for a young man, a kid in high school?
Terrible.
Paul, is it surprising to you to see how many young kids are having Tommy John surgery nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, you know, John Smoltz touched on it during his speech at the Hall of Fame last year about, you know, how, you know, these kids are just, you know, with travel ball, they're just throwing way too much. And, you know, they're playing 8-9 months out of the year, just putting too much stress on the same joints, you know, at such a young age. And, you know, I think some of these parents actually look forward to their kids having Tommy John, because then they think they're going to throw even harder after they have the surgery.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot younger kids seem to be having it nowadays, and you know, it's not the first time I've seen it happen in high school.
Lindor going to flip it over, and the inning comes to an end. Hey, great catching up with you as always. Thanks for stopping by.
Enjoyed it.
Enjoy your time in Cleveland.
Thank you.
Paul Ossenbacher with us. Twins go back up 4-2. Joey Coldman to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Now, just as quickly as the Indians were down 2-0, they tied it, and just as quickly they go back down by 2. Rajai Davis, Carlos Santana, Jason Kipnis for the Tribe here in inning number 3. The surprising thing is that this has been Minnesota's Achilles heel. They've been outscored over the first 3 innings this year by a combined score of 59-35. And Rajai Davis sends a long fly ball to right field. Sano back and makes the catch in the middle of the warning track. Boy, that ball carried. Our great clip of the game from Wednesday is Carlos Santana gapping one down in Houston. It went for an RBI triple, but the Indians, in a show of frustration, could not get Santana home from third. That would have been huge in that ball game. Carlos flied to right his first time up. Kia in the driver's seat shows you that Carlos Santana, when getting out of that leadoff spot, batting almost 290. I don't know, is it coincidence or is he doing it? Why is he so much better, do you think?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say, to pinpoint anything. It's not like he went off on a tear himself, and you know, he did the first game when he hit the 3-2 pitch for a home run. He gave him a 1-0 lead. He did it again, but you know, with Michael Brantley out of the lineup, Terry wants to protect it and, you know, move him down a little bit in the middle part of the lineup instead of keeping him up there for. But it's a tough call. He's going to have to switch it all year long, it seems like, depending on what happens with Michael. I mean, how many times did you say we're going to see Ramirez hit 5th in a lineup?
Yeah.
This is a utility guy that's coming out. He's playing sparingly. He plays, you know, third a little bit. He'll play the outfield, and right now he's hitting in the number 5 hole. So,
you know what? As Santana goes down on strikes, I'm thinking back to spring training when everyone wanted to know from Terry Francona who's going to bat where, who's going to hit leadoff, who's going to do this, who's going to do that. And he said repeatedly throughout the month of March, I haven't thought about the lineup. I haven't really thought about who's going to bat where. You know, that'll kind of figure itself out. Well, it's a good thing he didn't spend a lot of time thinking about it, because he's had more combinations already this month than I think he would have thought.
Well, he's the first to know. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. Everybody felt, oh, Kipnis will be my leadoff hitter because he did it last year and did a good job doing it after they inserted him there. Well, he hasn't hit leadoff yet, has he? No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. If he did, it was for only a game.
Let me see here. Kip, yeah, he does have one game he started in the leadoff spot. 29 out of the 2-hole. The other, he batted third. It's hit pretty well. Deep center field. Santana racing back, looking up. Gone! Jason Kipnis golfs one out of here to center field. And it's home run derby night here at Progressive Field. The 4th home run hit in the ball game. I make that the 5th home run hit in the ball game, and we're only in the 3rd inning.
Well, when you hit that out of the ballpark in center field, you're locked in, because it might have had plate, but it was down, and Jason loves the ball down. But boy, he gave it a ride straight away center field. Not an easy thing to do. Now, I don't know if the ball's carrying or not, but that's hitting it where the big boys hit it straight away center. The Indians come back and answer.
Now it's a 4-3 ball game as Francisco Lindor takes a strike. Well, the breeze is, again, it looks like it's carrying the ball out toward right and right center, but it's not knocking the ball down the left either. Lindor grounds out, inning over. But the home run barrage continues. Tribe trails at 4-3 as we go to the 4th. Ball is carrying tonight. 4-3, Twins on top. We go to the 4th, and we're joined now by Mike Jackson up here in the broadcast perch. How are you?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
We talk about pitchers with the ball carrying out so much tonight. How do you pitch now?
You got to keep the ball down tonight. I mean, you always got to go out there and look at those flags, and those flags are blowing out. You got to know you have to keep the ball down.
Well, Josh Tomlin will go to work. He's given up a home run in each of the first 3 innings tonight, so understandably might be just a tad gun shy about getting that ball up in the strike zone. What kind of adjustments can you make on a night like this where you know you've got to try and keep the ball down?
Well, first of all, you want to get a good grip. Your hands could be a little cold, so you have to blow up and keep your hands warm. But a day like this, you really have to focus and execute your pitches, especially location today.
Well, we noticed early the umpire's calling the low strikes. So, you know, if you're going to miss down below because he is calling it.
Yeah, I saw the last home run. It looked like he didn't get that pitch in enough on that hitter because, I mean, he got a good swing on that, got his hands through it, but definitely location is the key on a day like this.
Well, Kurt Suzuki walked his first time up. And how do you like that? He's 3-1 again.
This is the guy that, as you mentioned earlier, they can't throw strikes too. And that was Tomlin's first walk tonight.
And the 3-1 pitch hit right at Uribe. And they'll throw him out. All right, Mike, let's take a look at the 3 home runs and just kind of look at the pitch locations.
That's not good. Middle end.
That's a hitter's location right there.
No, he took it deep. There's
same up middle out over the plate.
Mid thigh out over the plate, and that was like a little spinner. Yeah,
those are 3 pitches he wished he had back. He didn't execute his location. Those balls were, as we say, hitter's pitches.
And you know, as I always say, the hitters let you know as a pitcher that you did not make a good pitch, right?
Oh, most definitely. Definitely, when you hear that sound, you turn around, you know you're not going to get that one back.
That's right. It's a souvenir.
Could you probably count on one hand maybe the number of times you made a pitch, guy hit one out, and you said, "Wait a minute, that was a good pitch. How did he do that?"
I mean, there are some pitches that guys hit out. The good pitches, the good breaking ball pitches, are the good executed pitches. They don't hit out, but the ones that you throw before it leaves your hand, you know, I'm not going to look out there.
Oh no, please!
That's a tape measure. But that's just the way it is when you're pitching. Or either that, or you hear that sound. You hear that loud sound, you know not to look out there.
That's what I used to go on the sound, because when I'm playing that far deep, I go, okay, I know that one's gone.
Yeah, but I mean, I enjoy pitching in weather like this because I know you can get in on guys' hands. You can't be too fine trying to get in, because most of the time when we're trying to pitch inside, you're going to either hit the guy or you're going to miss over the middle.
Right. We just left your home down in Houston. You came in from there, right?
You know what? I was out on the golf course.
Yeah, thanks for coming to see us down there. We played 2 games in one day for you to come see us.
And one of my friends called and said, "Hey, you know the Indians and the Astros in the '60s?" I said, "Oh, really? They're in Houston?"
Yeah, that was getaway day too, my friend. Well,
but I sure hate I missed you guys.
You know, I realize that a newspaper's tough to come by these days, but they have this thing called the internet, and you can
really
stuff on there.
Oh, they have that social media thing.
Game times, everything's on there.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well,
do you watch a lot of games, Mike, when you're at home with your kids? Do you still enjoy checking out different games? Wow, what a play by Lindor! Unbelievable!
Very nice play.
Every night this guy seems to do something. You just shake your head and go, wow.
Well, you know, Matt, I'm a guy that I love the game of baseball, but I'm not a guy that can watch it. I love to play the game. There's certain times of the year I watch baseball when it gets close to pennant races and teams that are trying to get in the hunt. I'll watch it, but I mean, it's just a sport that I really, really enjoy playing. I've been doing it since I was 5 years old.
Yep.
So I watched enough ball games throughout my career and lifetime. So.
Well, our last one we had to watch down at Fantasy Camp was a tough one, wasn't it?
Oh man, I enjoyed it.
We were in the championship and ended up taking it in the shorts.
Hey, 3 out of 4 years I went down there and we made the championship. Me and Rick was together last year, and it was an awesome thing. And we still have some spots available for those campers who want to get out there. We still got some spots.
Well, we can't solicit on our teams yet. That'll be collusion if we go out and say it over the air.
You said you made the championship game 3 out of the last 4 years.
Yes.
And how many of those did you win?
1.
Oh, okay. So
you thought it was going to be me. I'll tell you, I know where you're going with that.
I haven't seen you down there lately since I've been there.
I had to take a year off. My shoulder.
The body's breaking down on him, Michael.
My shoulder says it might be 2 years off. Mike, thanks for stopping by. Great to catch up with you as always.
I enjoy coming down.
Mike Jackson with us, watching Francisco Lindor put on another show tonight. Tribe trails it by a run, middle of the 4th. As we roll to the bottom of the fourth inning, first T-Mobile, greater coverage of baseball. Clayton Kershaw, he's on a roll. 5 straight with 10 punch-outs, 1 walk or fewer.
Wow. That's something special.
How about that bottom number there? Not the very bottom, but the Dodgers are 81-0 when they score in 4 or more.
Yes, well, that's how good he is. I think he's the only Dodger pitcher to ever do that many strikeouts. 5 consecutive games, and they've had many great pitchers run through that organization.
You're not kidding. Mike Napoli, a ground out, his first time up quickly in the hole. 0-2. Ricky Nolasco misses down low. Josh Tomlin set the Twins down for the first time tonight. 1-2-3.
Well, let's go this way. Who's going to hit the next home run for the Indians? Both their homers have come with 2 outs.
I was just going to say he'd be a good one to bet on, but that's a line shot to center for out number 1. Cricket, something to smile about. Bare hand and throws him out. I mean, that bare hand grabs a tough play. It's not like the ball was bounced up around his chest. He had to reach down. That ball was almost on the dirt. And he grabbed it with the bare hand perfectly and made the throw. Jose Ramirez doubled and scored in the 2nd inning. Indians come in averaging 4.25 runs per ball game. That's 9th best in the American League. Ramirez was going to try to take it with him, but he forgot one thing: the ball.
Well, when you're going to bunt, you have to stay in the batter's box, and if you're going to drag bunt, if he wanted to pull it, seeing that Mauer's back there, he has to, that left foot has to step directly to the pitcher to keep yourself in the batter's box. His first step was towards first base. I don't know if it was just a deke or what.
Yeah, there's sort of this misconception that when you drag bunt, you're going toward first. You're actually going forward.
Right. In the batter's box. You're going toward the pitcher as opposed to the first base line.
Down and in, and he almost got him to chase after it, but Jose held up. And a full count. Ramirez has been a really pleasant surprise offensively so far this year with what he's been able to do. Slaps that one right at Plouffe. And there are 2 down. 2 line drives, 2 outs. A couple of birthday wishes going out tonight. First, Peter Meyer just recently turned 91 years old in April, and he watches every game. And his son Evan wanted me to send happy birthday wishes out to him. And also Paul Sidoti celebrating his 45th. I don't want to get too far ahead of us.
Uh-oh, you're flipping it around. Now, wait a minute. You know how that is.
Maybe it's my 54th. 45th birthday. He's a Cleveland born and raised. And he travels with Taylor Swift. He's the lead guitar player for her band.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That'd be a fun gig.
Marlon Byrd out on strikes his first time up. And it was a borderline pitch.
Yeah, breaking ball away. He thought it was a little bit maybe down and away.
Yeah, maybe if that's a walk, it's a 3-run homer for Yan Gomes.
But let's wait and see where the pitches, if the hitters start swinging at the pitches down a little bit more. There was a breaking ball he left up.
And Bird goes upstairs, can't get to the heat. 3rd strikeout for Nolasco. Indians go 1-2-3. 4-3 Minnesota after 4. Baseball is brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. By your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. And by the Cleveland Clinic. Access anytime, anywhere. All right, 4-3, Minnesota on top, 5th inning. Eduardo Nunez 0 for 2 on the day. Pops this one back out of play. And count. No balls, 2 strikes.
Nunez, a guy that came in pretty hot. One of the few guys swinging it for the Twins.
Tied him up nicely, and Josh Tomlin has his 2nd strikeout of the night. He's retired 6 in a row.
Let's make this our Circle K strikeout tonight. He's running that ball, the fastball, back inside, tied him up nicely. Got it around the belt, in on the hands, and got it inside. Gets a swing and a miss.
And that is foul, thankfully. I tell you, with Sano and Park, they can hit some home runs. When their first 2 home runs combined to go 859 feet.
Yeah, they have what you call light tower power. They can hit them high and they can hit them deep if you make a mistake. You'll see the Sano homer right there. That one was, what was that, 460 or something like that?
450.
All right, 450. That's a long way.
Yeah. Tomlin got him to chase after it 1 and 2.
That's when Josh is at his best. You get those guys caught in between. Nice little breaking ball down there. He wanted to cheat. Just never caught up.
Try to get him to maybe go after the high fastball, but he wouldn't do it.
Change the eye level.
And a full count.
You know, you look at Josh, as I mentioned, he beat the Twins earlier this year. In his career, 3 and 4 against them, and this is start number 9. And this year at this ballpark, Josh is 3 and 0.
Swung out and missed. Tomlin not about to give in. Changed up on him. And that is his 3rd strikeout. Not sure if that was just another breaking ball. Take another look here.
Let's look here and see.
It's a changeup, isn't it?
Well, 83. It's either a cutter or something off speed. It was off speed, no doubt. Could have been a change, yes.
Back-to-back Ks for Tomlin. And now Trevor Plouffe, who reached on an error in the 3rd and then came around to score on the homer by Park. He taps another one to 3rd. Another chance for Uribe. This time he gets his man. Josh Tomlin has set down 8 straight.
corner, which is in right field, where the new drink rails out and left, with the district ticket presented by Sports Time Ohio. District tickets are only $13. That includes your first drink. They are available online now at Indians.com. And there they are out there in the district having fun. Friday night, they love it on the weekends, don't they?
They're having fun out there in the bleachers too. They've all got those, like, you know, the hot dog guys. They've got them on sticks. They're out there. I don't know what they're doing. I'm not sure what the deal is. But
there you go.
Yeah,
oh, I see. Maybe what are they betting on the hot dog races in the 6th?
It's like an auction. Oh, I'll take onion for 25.
Oh, they have all different ones? Or?
Yeah, I've seen I saw some ketchups.
Well, you've got good eyes.
At first glance, it looked like they were fanning themselves like it was just too hot, but I knew that wasn't the case.
That's true.
So before the game tonight, Rick, I'm down at the batting cage, and I was talking to Jan, and then he goes in, he starts taking some hacks, and this is when you know a guy's really endeared himself to his teammates. This is batting practice. He hits one down the right field line. It's slicing. Guys are yelling, "Stay fair, stay fair." It gets down and hits the chalk, and Mike Naplin's going, "That's what you need. That's all you need. One of those tonight. Just get one of those." And then he hits one off the wall, and Jason Kipnis is there offering him encouragement. I mean, it was kind of cool to see that the guys are trying to pump him up just during batting practice, because you know how tough it can be when you get into an offensive slump like he was in. And
well, so yeah, sometimes it's all about confidence, you know, and he obviously didn't feel good in that 16-inning game. First of all, when you're catching that long, you know, no, it's no fun when you're in a slump hitting. But you hit your way out of them. You don't feel sorry for yourself, and he's been on for the 2nd time today.
In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. It starts with Yan Gomes. His 2-run homer in the 2nd tied the game at 2, negating a pair of solo shots by Minnesota. But then Gung-Ho Park with a 2-run homer put Minnesota right back in front. Jason Kipnis golfed one to straightaway center and cut the Twins' lead to a single run, and that is where we are.
You know, hard to figure it out, because Nolasco, up until facing Yan Gomes, had 10 straight first pitch strikes. And the 2nd time through the lineup, he had thrown 23 pitches and 17 strikes, and then he just walks the leadoff hitter. Well, we'll see if the Indians can take advantage of that.
Pops one up straight up on the infield, and Mauer will make the catch. One away. Head down to the ballpark this weekend for Major League Baseball's first annual Play Ball weekend. For more info, log on to MLB.com/tickets. You can get your tickets. Come on down. There's going to be a clinic on the field. A lot of fun.
I want to send along another birthday wish to Thelma Monday of LaGrange, who will be 86 tomorrow. So Thelma, happy birthday to you.
Davis swings at the ball in the dirt. And one last one here. Mike Kuti in Shaker celebrating his 68th birthday. Here in the 5th inning, 1 on, 1 out. Drive down a run. Rajay Davis in the hole, 0-2. Chop to third. Plouffe throws him out. 2 down. On the play, Gomes moves into scoring position. And we'll see if Santana can maybe bring him home and tie this baby up.
Well, all their runs scoring so far with 2 outs tonight.
Well, all the home runs have been to left, so maybe Santana. Well, I shouldn't say that. Kipnis hit one to center. So it's time to see one fly out of here to right field. And Santana has hit 18 career home runs against the Minnesota Twins. High pop. This one's not going to do it. It's going to stay in play, and Santana in center field makes the catch. 5 complete. 4-3 Minnesota. On top. Minnesota came in as one of the worst offensive teams in the American League, dead last in runs scored. But they have used the long ball to get them going tonight. Solo shot by Miguel Sano in the first, a solo homer by that guy, Young Hill Park, and a 2-run homer by that guy in the third inning. And he is the subject of our Levin Furniture player profile out of Seoul, South Korea. You know, the one thing about the Twins and their predicament goes back to kind of what we were talking about earlier. Park's a DH, but they've got some guys who just, you know, where do they fit? You know, is Sano, as you said, you know, he's probably a better third baseman than he is an outfielder. Right. Not probably, he is. But you've got Trevor Plouffe, so that puts Sano in a spot where probably his best position would be to DH. But you've got Park stuck there. You got Maurer at
Park
first
could
base.
be playing first base.
Yeah, but Maurer, they've kind of got. It's almost like they're playing the shell game. You're moving the ball around to try to.
Sometimes you do that, you know, with players that you want to keep, and you sign, and you choose to sign, and you have to find at bats for people.
But if you hit them like Park hits them, they'll find a spot for you somewhere in the 1 through 9.
Oh, there's no doubt. He does he have 9 home runs now, and we've witnessed 3 of them. This is only the second series. We're going to see them a lot more throughout the course of the year.
Nice change of pace there by Tomlin. Good off speed pitch, and it's a full count.
Yeah, you pull the string right there, and you can see what happens. Messed with his timing.
High fly ball. This one's playable, I think. Davis, Ramirez makes the catch, middle of the track, one away. He's probably doing the Maxwell Smart going back to the dugout. Missed it by that much.
Yeah, just underneath it. And that ball was up there for quite some time. Got away with one there. Look at the smile. He knows he got away with one.
Well, after what he did to the first 2 pitches Josh threw to him, he's probably thinking, whoo, just glad I kept him in the yard. Brian Dozier, 1 out of 2. This is only the 9th start in 564 games for Brian Dozier in the number 6 spot in the order. But as I said earlier, he came in just 2 for 15 against Josh Tomlin. Paul Mahler is probably just trying to find different ways to shake things up to get the offense going. He chases the high fastball, and that's what he is prone to do, but he can also get on top of that pitch at times. 4th strikeout for Tomlin. 2 down.
Well, this one they just elevated. They know he likes the high fastball. You know, once you see it up there, you can go up a little bit higher than normal with this guy because he's a great high fastball hitter. But that one was out of the strike zone, but he sees it well enough. He wanted to take a swing at it.
His reaction was priceless, wasn't it? He was smiling as he walked away. I was like, ah, good God, Pete.
Good inning.
Arcia pops it straight up. 11 in a row retired by Josh Tomlin. He sets him down in order here in the 6th on just 10 pitches. Right now, he has set down 11 consecutive Twins batters and hasn't hardly broken a sweat in the last couple innings.
Well, for Josh Tomlin, in inning number 1 and 2, he threw 49 pitches, just 57% strikes, and then settled down 3 through 6, only 48 pitches, and then 69% strikes.
Well, Jason Kipnis leads off the bottom of the 6th. He homered in the 3rd. He went down and blasted one out of here to center field.
Well, he had a pitch on the plate, and he loves the ball down. He hits it very well. That's why when you were talking about him using the whole field and he goes to left field, well, those pitches away that he keeps taking his singles and whatever, doubles, whatever they are, that'll force a pitcher to come inside a little bit more. And there's a pitch in off the plate. Here's the pitch on the 3rd inning. That ball was down. And I mean, to hit a ball that far to center field, you got to stay back on it. He let the hands get through the hitting area in a hurry.
Up the middle, but the second baseman Dozier is there. 1 away.
Well, 10,000 fans will receive a Carlos Carrasco jersey. That'll be Tuesday. The Indians will go back to interleague, play the Cincinnati Reds. Come see the Tribe battle. It's although we won't have to. We'll go to Cincinnati on Wednesday and Thursday. They will be here Monday and Tuesday. Visit Indians.com for your tickets.
Pitch outside.
That's a pitch that was very good for Nolasco while we were there. It's that curveball. He went 7 1/3 innings against the Tribe the last time. That's the longest he pitched so far this year, coming off a 5-inning start against the White Sox. And that was a season low for him.
Wow, look out. Oh, man, that went right over the top of the Indians dugout. That guy Ward in the ribs. I don't think he could get out of the way. That thing was
fine, but someone better go give him some oxygen.
Oh, Andre's down there. Our own Florence Nightingale to the rescue. Lindor with a line drive base hit into right field. And he snaps an 0 for 9 with a solid base hit with 1 out here in the 6th inning. And let's go down to the nurse's station for the latest on the Indians walking wounded.
Well, I don't have the magic dust that hurt Arch back 15, 20 years ago.
That's longer than that, my friend.
It was
tried
longer
40.
than that. Yeah, you are old. All right, let me give you the update and get out of the way. Carlos Carrasco threw a side today. That's a good thing, guys. We'll take a day or two to find out and decide if he can have another side or be sent out. He's at 80% running. They said he's doing great. Michael Brantley on the other side, not so well right now. We'll know more after the game. But his shoulder is bothering him still, barking at him a little bit. The doctors checked him out right before the game. Hopefully he'll be able to hit tomorrow. If not, we could be looking at another situation where he's out for a little bit.
Well, you know, obviously you gave him a couple days off. Yesterday was an off day. You assumed he'd be back in the lineup today. The fact that he wasn't kind of set off an alarm that what's wrong.
Yeah, no doubt. For Andre, I want to know, what was it, 4 to 6 weeks for Carrasco originally?
Originally it was, but like I said, he's been running in the pool. He's been out here throwing. The arm is obviously fine, but like I said, we're going to find out tomorrow or maybe Sunday.
Right.
If he can go out, I mean, I think that moves it up a little bit is what I would say.
That would be nice. I mean, you certainly don't want to state, a date and then all of a sudden it's not reached and everybody thinks there's something wrong that is worse. But, boy, we'd love to have him back, need him back.
Well, that's the whole kind of Michael Brantley situation. You go back to spring training and there was the initial timetable.
Right.
And then there was, and then all of a sudden he appeared in the spring training game and looked like he was fit and ready and rocking. Okay. And then, okay, let's pump the brakes.
Well, you know, when we were playing in Houston, if Brantley couldn't pinch hit in a situation in the 9th, they had a chance to win the game. Yeah, you know, against their sidearmer Neshek, then there's something wrong. You know, if he couldn't hit in that game, and now there was an off day and he's still not back in the lineup tonight. So to me, that doesn't look good.
Mike Napoli takes, and that's a perfect pitch outside corner. 2-2. Nolasco, he's been very careful with Napoli. Mike had a line drive that he hit to center field for an out his last time up, but he's been trying to stay away, keep the ball out of his happy zone. And a full count. Twins have their bullpen up. Even though Nolasco's only at 85 pitches. But third time through the order now. 3-2 fouled back.
And for Nolasco on the year, the third time through the order, hitters are hitting .326 off him on the year. Usually you get him out of the stretch, and that's where you have him. Runners on, opposition hitting .409. Wow. Get runners in scoring position, .464.
So that's had a whole lot of chances.
Well, that's the thing. You want to get them out of the stretch. They have them now.
Not quite. They had a leadoff man aboard in the 5th, and he got the next 3 hitters out. 1, 2, 3, boom. They had the 1-out double in the 2nd, and 2 batters later, Gomes cleaned it up with a home run. And the other run scored tonight on a solo homer. That's been it offensively until this Lindor single here with 1 out in the 6th. 3-2. And again, Napoli spoils it.
Well, like we say so often with Mike Napoli and the number of pitches he has a tendency to see throughout the course of an at-bat. We're looking at pitch number 9 coming up.
He usually sees between 4 and 5 on average. And this will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat for Napoli right here. Lindor running, no, stops, and it's ball 4. So 2 on, 1 out, and Jose Ramirez coming up. Injury report tonight brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Kansas City, how about that? You lose 2 starters out of your rotation on the same day?
Yeah, they put both of them on the DL. Wow. Yes, they did. They were both struggling.
Kansas City began the day 2 games under 500, 16
they were both
and 18.
Pitching poorly, too, I might add.
Well, here's a chance for the Indians now, down a run. 2 on, 1 out. Jose Ramirez, 1 for 2 on the night. And a foul back. Last time up, he tried to punch one the other way and lined out to the third baseman, Plouffe. First time up, he doubled just a shallow right center field. Slow breaking ball, but it's downstairs. And the count 1-1. Jose Ramirez has been really good in the clutch. As I said earlier, he's been a really nice offensive surprise this year. We knew what he could do defensively and from a standpoint of being able to plug him in just about anywhere on the diamond. But offensively, he has been outstanding here in the early going, regardless of when that playing time has come.
Well, he just spit on 2 curveballs from Nolasco. Let's see what he gets here.
Outside, 3-1 with a fastball.
Yeah, I tried to throw that little 2-seamer to get him to roll over on it for a double play. Great hitters count now. He can be very disciplined. Zone in. Just the 1 out.
Well, he walked Napoli on the verge of walking the bases loaded now. High, ball 4. They're juiced. And now Molitor has a decision to make for Minnesota. Presley ready in the Twins bullpen.
Well, he's going to make the move. He's got him ready. He can't leave him out there. Or can he?
He hasn't made the move
no,
yet.
He has not. He's going to take a slow walk. He's looking out there.
Doesn't look like he's going to take him out, does it?
It does not. He's talking to his infielders. He's talking a little bit to everybody. So
there's Eddie Guardado behind Ryan Presley. They look interested to see what the skipper's going to do, and he's going to stay with the starter.
He is for 1 more hitter. This will be his last hitter, I'm sure. Unless he can get out of it. Prime opportunity here to at least tie the game, if not take the lead for the Indians. This has been his worst inning as far as pitch count goes. That's what happens when you get those 2 walks. They were patient enough, and of course Napoli had the 9 pitch at bat.
Marlon Byrd 0 for 2 has struck out twice tonight. That might have figured into Molitor's decision. Will the 3rd time be the charm for Byrd? Outside, ball 1. In his career, Byrd is now just 3 for 17 against Nolasco.
Yeah, well, you know they have those numbers down there in that Minnesota dugout.
Byrd drives one, right field. Sano makes a running catch in the middle of the warning track. Lindor tags. He ties the game. Throw to 3rd, not in time. And so the go-ahead run, Mike Napoli 90 feet away, but there are 2 down in the inning as Marlon Byrd gets his first career RBI against Ricky Nolasco on a ball that almost got over his head and could have done a lot of damage.
Took a bad route to it. He was lucky to catch the ball. But the bottom line is he did catch it. So they get the 2nd out. The tying run crosses home plate. But he's lucky that 2 or 3 didn't score on that one. Not a good angle. He's not originally a right fielder. He was put out there this year after being a 3rd baseman. But boy, very lucky right there.
Well, now Yan Gomes with 2 on and 2 out. And it's up high, ball 1. The end of the bat, loop to center, coming in, the center fielder Santana makes a fine running catch and ends the inning. Well, the Indians tie it on a sac fly, 4-4 as we go to the 7th. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partner of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And by Ford, built Ford tough. (4-4), 7th inning. Out in the district, folks are enjoying a beautiful night here at the ballpark. In fact, nice Friday night crowd in general. Kurt Suzuki, Danny Santana, and Joe Mauer for the Twins here in the 7th. Josh Tomlin about to hit that 100 pitch mark with Kyle Crockett, left-hander, up in the bullpen. 9 of Tomlin's outs recorded on 3 pitches or less. And Suzuki crossed up.
Well, yeah, he got off to that rocky start in the first couple of innings. Didn't have as good control, made a couple of mistakes, but after the 2-run home run by Parks, settled in nicely.
Tomlin's 100th pitch of the night. A little bit low. Really shows you the kind of competitor that Tomlin is. In the way the game started, and it didn't look like he was going to be around long, did it?
No, it certainly did not.
Foul?
Well, it's a game of adjustments. You know, as we say so many times, you give up the solo home runs. He's given up 3 home runs, but it totals 4 runs, all their runs. So the 2 solo shots, and then there happened to be one other guy on base there, and it was not his fault because there was an error made that allowed that other guy to score. It would have been 3 solos.
Suzuki with another foul ball. Zach McAllister has joined Kyle Crockett in the Tribe bullpen. Entertaining game to start the homestand. The 1-2. Routine chopper to short. Lindor had to wait back on it. Able to throw out the catcher. Suzuki 1 down. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Sano homered, Park homered again. And since then, Tomlin has retired 12 straight Twins hitters.
Yeah, you can see the locations a lot different than what they were earlier. The command a little better, changing speeds. And that's going to do it. After the 1 out, Terry Francona going out to the bullpen, so Tomlin able to go 6 1/3 tonight.
Josh Tomlin will leave as the call to the bullpen is made courtesy of Cleveland Clinic for the left-hander Kyle Crockett. You got a switch hitter, and then the lefty Mauer due up after him. So we'll be right back, tied at 4. You see a guy pulled from a game after he has retired 12 in a row.
Well, to that point, you know, Josh is usually about a 90 pitch guy, and he wants to flip over Santana from the right side of the plate. He's 0 for 10, and then you got Mauer on deck for your left-hander here, and that's usually what Crockett does. He's a matchup guy.
play, and the count quickly 0-2. That kind of front row. Look at all. He is so mad. Look at him. Easy, folks. Easy. That guy almost hurt himself. Don't forget the sunglasses.
He needs them at night.
Corey Hart.
Yeah.
Out of play. This one's going to be decided by the bullpens, it would appear, tonight. Tomlin's out, and Nolasco was getting handshakes when he came in. Kipnis throws out Santana 2 away.
Well, kids tickets start at just $10 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. Kids tickets are located in the family deck at Progressive Field and are only available at Indians.com.
Joe Mauer is 0 for 2 with a walk. '24-year-old Kyle Crockett. And he delivers a strike. Made his major league debut 2 years ago. And what a debut it was. In 43 games as a rookie, he had an ERA of 1.80. Last year, it was a different story. In 31 games, that ERA ballooned to 4.08. And he was kind of on the shuttle back and forth between the Indians and Columbus. Foul back. He had 4 different stints with the Tribe last year.
Well, for him too, he had some command issues as well. Trying to get him to throw maybe a little sinker. Didn't really work very well. Got him in trouble, really.
Chopped by the mound. Lindor is there near the bag and throws him out. So Crockett picks up where Tomlin left off. And the Twins go 1-2-3. Stretch time in Cleveland. as the circuit heads to the Monster Mile in Dover for Sprint Cup Series racing. It all begins at 11:30 a.m. only on FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Juan Uribe, Rajay Davis, and Carlos Santana for the Indians here in inning number 7. Ryan Presley on for Minnesota, so it's official. This one will be decided by the bullpens tonight. Those starters bow out with a no decision. On one pitch, Uribe retired, and to show you how different a game like tonight can be for each starting pitcher. The way this game started, Josh Tomlin, he leaves with a no decision, but feeling pretty good about himself because he retired the last 12 in a row and pitched strong down the stretch. If you're Ricky Nolasco, you don't feel as good because you had the lead and you gave up that lead and let him tie it in your last inning of work.
Yeah, but the starter's mentality is, look, I got to try and keep my team in it to win the game. And now we're getting to the point where from the 7th inning on, the Indians haven't been very good this year, but they're going to have to turn it over. They're home.
Ooh.
Minnesota only 2 wins on the road this year.
Pop. Mauer, no. 1-1. Both bullpens busy as we enter the late innings here, tied up 4-piece. Runs are even at 4, hits are even at 4. Left on base even at 3. Davis couldn't help himself.
Yeah, it was caught in between.
By the mound and right to the second baseman, Dozier. 2 down. Top of the order now, Carlos Santana. He's 0 for 3 on the night. And a bouncer wide of Mauer into right field. Well, Santana aboard with a 2-out single here in the bottom of the 7th. That's going to give Jason Kipnis a chance to bat.
Tried to throw that fastball by Santana. No, that's not going to work there. Carlos likes the heater, searches the heater, and finds the hole between first and second. Only the 5th hit for the Indians. So it's 2-out single.
Jason Kipnis knew that he was not going to face Ryan Presley. He never even left the on-deck circle. He waited for Paul Molitor, knowing that he was going to go out to his left-hander, Fernando Abad. Timeout in Cleveland. Go ahead, run aboard in the 7th. It's 1 at 4 o'clock Eastern. If you have Time Warner here in Cleveland, it's channel 75 or 317. If you're a DirecTV customer, it's channel 219. AT&T would be 652. If you're on the dish, it's 150. Anybody else? Look it up. You can also stream it on your mobile device with the Fox Sports Go app. Well, fans are enjoying it. Beautiful night here at the Yard. 4-4 ball game. Indians have the go-ahead run aboard with 2 outs, and the new pitcher is left-hander Fernando Abad, making his 17th appearance of the year. And this is not a real good Twins bullpen, but he's been the one guy that's been pretty consistent.
Well, he has. When left-handed hitters are 0 for 16 this year against him, with a walk and 5 strikeouts. Only 2 pitchers in all of baseball, and they faced at least 10 left-handed hitters. Do not have a hit. You remember Kyle Lobstein?
Yeah.
With Detroit? He's over in Pittsburgh now. The lefties are 0 for 18 off him on the year. So that's why Molitor went out and got him for Kipnis. But right now, the way Jason's swinging it, it wouldn't surprise me to see him just hit a base hit to left field at all.
Down low. A strike to the outside part of the plate. 2-1. Kipnis 1 for 3 on the night. That one hit was a homer in the 3rd. 8 hits over his last 3 games. To give you an idea of how hot Jason Kipnis was for the entire month of May last year, he's having a good May right now. He's hitting over 300. He would need to average more than 2 hits per game the rest of the month to get to where he was a year ago.
Well, it seems like he had 3 hits a game last year every day. He had at least 2. I'm telling you, I bet he had a half a dozen or 7 or 8 3-hit games.
That's just how mind-boggling that was last year. When you think about how locked in you have to be for that long. Just rare. Kipnis spanks this one to center, but it's right in the tracks of Santana, and the inning is over. 7 in the books, not enough for a piece. Is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. (4-4), 8th inning. And for the Indians, Brian Shaw coming into the ballgame. Shaw will face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Minnesota. Making his 17th appearance on the year. He's walked 5, struck out 17. The opposition hitting .236 against him.
Yeah, he's been locked in. Brian Shaw, his last 8 outings have been scoreless. Covering 8 1/3 innings. He's given up only 2 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. So he has been throwing the ball very, very well. But again, this game is decided by the bullpens.
Well, the last time we had a ball game, it went 16 innings.
Well, in games decided from the 7th inning or later, the Indians are 2-8. They're 1-1 at home and just 1-7 on the road. So they got to get that home record up.
Well, Tom Bushenik says that the Indians' biggest problem is that they've been outscored late in games a lot.
Yeah.
In their 15 losses, they've been outscored 26-10 from the 7th inning on.
Well, there you go.
In the air, left field. Back is Ramirez on the track, looking up, gone. Eduardo Nunez with his 2nd home run of the season puts Minnesota back on top, 5-4, with the Twins' 4th home run of the night.
Well, and Nunez has been swinging a hot bat, but tonight he was 0 for 3 until that swing there. And boy, that breaks the tie. It's that little cutter. It stayed middle in, and you can see Shaw's reaction. He knew it as soon as it left the bat. So it's been the long ball for Minnesota tonight. 3 solo shots and a 2-run homer.
Miguel Sano homered in the 1st.
For Nunez, just his 2nd home run.
For the Twins, it's like Mardi Gras in the dugout. They are dancing, they are celebrating. When you've only won 2 games on the road, I guess it's understandable. A rope to left, a base hit for Sano.
Here's the breaking ball, the slider. Sano kept his hands back, finds the hole. So back-to-back hits now for Minnesota here, starting the 8th.
And up comes Trevor Plouffe. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Upstairs with it. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Josh Tomlin and then Kyle Crockett had combined to retire 14 Twins hitters in a row before Eduardo Nunez greeted Brian Shaw with a home run here in the 8th inning. 14 in a row. But Minnesota has scored all 5 of their runs on the home run ball tonight. 2-2. Trevor Plouffe. Lays off in a full count. Plouffe was on the DL the first time these two teams met. But he's a guy that has been problematic for the Indians in the past.
Yeah, he's always swung the bat very well against the Tribe.
11 career homers.
Seems to step up big for him late in games.
3-2 pitch outside, and Shaw yet to retire a batter. Well, Young Hill Park has had a big night for Minnesota.
Boy, has he ever. Pulled the hands in there. That was his second home run. That was a 2-run homer. Just missed this one. Got a high breaking ball, got underneath it. And Tomlin, a deep sigh of relief after that swing, and that ball came down in the park.
Checked his swing.
It's like a sacrifice.
And Shaw will throw him out one away. But the runners moved to second and third base respectively.
You know, you'd say the same guy hit those first 3 balls we just showed you, and then he hits that one, and look at him smiling. It acts just like a sacrifice. So they benefit from it. They move the runners up, and now the Indians infield will have to come in.
Now this is a tough spot now because Dozier's a guy that hits the ball in the air a lot. And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a fly ball. Unless the Indians are going to put him on here, no.
Well, he likes the high fastball. He's going to end up probably getting some breaking balls, sliders down, and maybe cutters. Pretty good spot. That's where you want to keep it, right there.
Well, they didn't get the call, and it's 1-0. Dozier squibs one foul the other way.
Well, the good thing too with the infield, Sano not a good base runner, or a fast base runner I should say, at third base. So I don't think they'll be going on contact.
You can see Lindor's playing back a few steps because of that very fact.
That's you play according to the speed of that guy that's on third base. You can play a little deeper and hopefully cut off a ball maybe if it's in the hole.
Up and away, 2 balls and a strike.
You know, he could be going at him and try to make the perfect pitch, and if he doesn't,
now they're going to put him on.
That's what I was going to say. If he doesn't make his pitches, then they end up just putting him on first base, but they're going to intentionally walk him. So something's got to give here. Bases loaded and just 1 out.
Well, the batter will be Oswaldo Arcia, and he's 0 for 3 on the night. But he's a left-handed bat with some power. And Terry Francona has made his mind up. He's going to make a pitching change. Zach McAllister will be coming into a real mess when we come back.
Right now, bases loaded, 1 out. Minnesota took the lead with a solo home run leading off the inning. So Terry Francona goes to Zach McAllister, who comes on for the 16th time this year, a 1-1 record. And Zach is, you go back to April 25th in Minnesota, it was Zach McAllister against Arcia, who's leading or who's hitting now. And that was it. That was the ball game. Walk-off home run, so he's going to get an opportunity to redeem himself. He'd love to get a ground ball, get a double play, and get out of this inning and keep it a 1-run lead. He's going to try and get him to hit it on the ground or go for the punch out, one of the two.
McAllister fires, and a fastball fouled right back. Arcia looks back into his dugout as if to say, oh, I was right on it.
Yeah, well, foul ball, strike one. He was right on it, but he fouled it straight back.
Strike called outside corner. And McAllister gets ahead quickly, 0-2. Miguel Sano, the runner at third. Trevor Plouffe at second. Brian Dozier down at first. Twins lead it 5-4. And the 0-2 took off on him. Swung out and missed. He took a little something off and strikes him out.
Yeah, right pitch at the right time. Nice off-speed breaking ball by McAllister. Gets the strikeout. Like a slider to me. Good location. It's out of the zone. He's ahead of him. Expand his strike zone. He gets the swing and a miss. A big out, number 2. Now for Zach, get this third one, keep it a 1-run ball game. He has stranded. He's only let 2 of his 9 inherited runners score. And, you know, there's 3 out there now, and he's 1 out away from getting out of it.
Now Kurt Suzuki has walked and grounded out twice tonight. And he pops it foul out of play. Suzuki. No success against McAllister to speak of. Took off, and it's 1-1. Now with Suzuki, you know you're going to have to throw him strikes. He's, you know, I know I've mentioned this before, but he came up in that Oakland system. He's pretty disciplined as far as strike zone.
Well, he's going to make, yeah, he's going to make you get in the zone.
Good fastball, and he couldn't catch up to it. It's 1-2. That was the right pitch for McAllister at the right time, just as the breaking ball was to strike out Arcia. Because now, if he misses there and it's 2-1, that really flips the at bat big time.
Yeah, now you can go, you know, and try and expand his zone here. Exactly what he did to Arcia.
That slider he lays off, and it's 2-2. Almost wonder in an at bat like that, after just watching the Arcia at bat, if Suzuki's up there thinking like a catcher right there. 1-2, perfect spot for a slider. If I see it spinning, I'm not going to swing.
Yeah, that very well could have been.
1 2-2 fastball just blew it right by him. McAllister may have saved the day. The Twins leave him loaded as he strikes out a pair. But the Twins go back in front with their 4th home run of the night. Parks power. Well, he parked it. They didn't corral the big guy. A couple of home runs. He's driven in 3. And against Nolasco, the Indians weren't able to put many runners on base against him. They used the home run ball. And when they got guys on base, they got him out of the game. That was his last inning when they loaded him with a couple of walks. They did tie it at that time, but the Twins have since gone in front. And so now Minnesota's bullpen will try to hold the lead over the last 2 innings. Trevor May will get the first chance. He's a big right-hander at 6'5" and almost 250 pounds. He has not given up a run in his last 9 innings. That's the 8th longest active streak in the American League. But this is a Minnesota bullpen that has had its troubles. They have blown 8 save situations this year. Only the Reds bullpen has blown more.
Well, you know how that goes too, and they just took the lead. So if the Indians can get a base runner, then you start thinking a little bit, okay, when's it going to happen next? You know, that creeps into the mind. They're on the road. They haven't played well on the road, so the Indians need a base runner to apply some pressure.
Lindor lays off a pitch that's up high. Nice pitch by May. Took something off, and Lindor way out in front of it.
Big man, and he changeup comes in there with the same arm speed as his fastball, but he put it in an excellent spot on the outside edge.
Curve ball hit inside the bag at third, down the line. It's a fair ball. Arcia over, hustling, cuts it off, and he holds Lindor to a long leadoff single. Great job by Lindor. Great job by Arcia.
Yeah,
because if he doesn't get over there hustling, you know Lindor's going for 2.
Well, how about that? A high breaking ball after an outstanding changeup, and he slaps it the other way. I saw him put his head down. You're thinking, okay, there's your start right now. Really good heads-up hustle play by Arcia to get it in and keep Lindor at first base. 6th hit for the Indians.
Napoli takes a breaking ball high.
Numbers so far in Napoli's first 3 at bats. He has been up there and saw 18 pitches. But you look at Trevor May, he's faced Trevor 5 times. He's 0 for 5 and 5 punch-outs.
Well, that was a mighty swing by Napoli, but it came up empty.
There's that fastball up above the belt, letter high.
Napoli 0 for 2 on the night. And a little late on that high cheddar.
That's a ball. That's one he's got to take. He can't catch up to it. I mean, you look at it, elevated. It's up in the letters. You're not, even if you hit it, you're just going to foul it off. You're not going to catch up and put it in play. And I'll be surprised if they throw him anything else.
That's upstairs. 2-2. Napoli, the Indians' home run leader. Oh, he's rung up on a pitch that did not look like a strike. Napoli complains. Ted Barrett, deaf ears.
Well, you go outside and you watch it on the outside edge. There it is. I don't know. He doesn't like it. He let it be known, but it goes down as out number 1.
Well, Jose Ramirez to the plate. Jose has seen Trevor May enough times to know what's coming. Down low. John Adams banging away in the bleachers. Oh, Lindor was leaning and he just did get back.
Oh, he had plenty of time. By the time Mauer tagged him, he had the hand on the base. You know, if you get out there and you're thinking of stealing, you have to get yourself a good lead.
Popped out of play. One ball, one strike, one on, one out. 8th inning, Tribe down a run. And that's up high. Marlon Byrd waiting on deck. Right now, all eyes eyes on Jose Ramirez. And this 2-1 pitch. Popped out of play. And it's 2-2. The Twins have played well defensively tonight. Even Miguel Sano, he made a running catch on the warning track in deep right field, but he made the catch.
Right. Because
the Twins have committed 21 errors. That's the third most in the American League. Runner goes, pitches down and in. The throw, not in time. Lindor steals the base, his 6th steal of the year, and now the tying run is in the scoring position.
You know, he steals that base, and he couldn't have picked a better pitch. Maybe that's why he waited later in the count. He looks back, it's a breaking ball. He sees it, he takes it, and he beats the throw. He beat it on the breaking ball, so that was a good call. He's in the scoring position. Now it's a 3-2 count, so.
Payoff pitch. Up high, ball 4. Ramirez takes his base. The Indians have 2 on with 1 out, and Marlon Byrd coming up as Paul Molitor looks down at the book of matchups. Suzuki goes out to talk to May. Last time up was when Byrd almost got one over Sano's head in right field.
Yeah, he broke to his right and ended up having to make an adjustment to go back. And he was very lucky, but he did make the catch. The bases were loaded, so if he doesn't make that catch there, they have a big inning. But he did. And now Byrd with another opportunity here. And they get the hit they need.
Upstairs. Byrd came in 5 out of 16 with runners in scoring position. He's 0 for 1 officially on the night with that sac fly. Wow. Look out down in the photo pay. Chuck Crow, the veteran photographer, the plain dealer, he just leaned to his left, and he
Those guys are good at dodging balls down in there. They get enough of them. It was Mike Sarbaugh, the third base coach, that had to get out of the way as well.
Here's Chuck down there to your right with the glasses on.
Taking a picture of the back of Andre's head right now.
Here's the 1-1. And Byrd comes up empty. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball. When May's been able to elevate that, it's been unhittable in this inning.
Yeah, that's just above that hit line, you know, a little above the belt. He did that to Napoli, and then he dotted the outside corner down.
Out of play right side. There's the view from the rails down the left field line. That area is packed with people. Home run porch is filled up. Byrd awaits the 1-2. Hit in the air, center field. Santana chasing back, still going back. It's over his head. Lindor out there is going to score. Ramirez right on his heels, and the Indians take the lead. Marlon Byrd delivers a huge 2-run double to straightaway center field, and the Indians are on top 6-5. Byrd is the word indeed, my friend.
Got a hanging breaking ball, and he drove it straight away center field. Santana looking to go over the head and make that catch. Could not do it. And then once it lands, Ramirez is in the back pocket of Lindor, and there they are. They carry the mail. The And how about that? They get their big hit when needed. And you said May was on an 8-inning string of not allowing a run, just like Shaw was, and they both give up the runs, but that is a huge hit.
That's their 8th blown save now, too, as a bullpen.
So I say you get that first man on it, anything can happen. It starts creeping in.
Naquin takes over to run for Bird. 6-5 Cleveland. What a turn of events here in the 8th inning. The veteran Marlon Bird put that nice short swing on it and hit it a long way. Santana, didn't it seem like he was running after that ball forever?
Yeah, he was. That's right. It was in the park. That ball was smoked, though. I'll tell you what, he made a pretty good route at it because he just got over his glove. Yeah, this kid's quick, so that ball had to be smoked to get it over his head.
Swung out and missed. Yan Gomes might have had the biggest hit of the night when you go back to that second inning, because the Indians got down early, a solo home in each of the first 2 innings, and then his 2-run homer brought him right back to even. Kind of gave the dugout some life. For him, it ended a long slump, and I think it just gave everybody a little life. And they were able to come back again and again in this ball game tonight. With 2 down, Juan Uribe 0 for 3 at the plate. I think Juan made up his mind when he left the on-deck circle. I'm swinging. He loves the fastball, but that one's almost at his eyeball level. Shoots that one to right, but foul down the right side.
Well, that's what he did to Bird. He threw the fastball by him, and then he fouled one off to the right, and then came back with a curveball and did him a favor, I think.
2-strike pitch. And a line drive base hit into right field. Naquin coming around third. Sano's throw nowhere near in time. Goes to the backstop. Uribe to second. 7-5 Cleveland. Juan Uribe delivers a 2-out RBI knock here in the 8th. And it's a 3-run inning for Cleveland.
Well, here comes the fastball. And that was up and out over the plate. Uribe stayed on it and drilled it to right field. So big 2-out hitting. Naquin comes in and scores. A throw from Sano way offline, and it gets by him. So there'll be an error involved, allowing Uribe to go to second base. So give him the hit, the RBI, and an error. And the Indians lead at 7-5.
Now we've got a timeout. Trevor May roughed up by the Indians here in the 8th inning, and we'll be right back. Play of the game so far.
Well, there's the 2-strike breaking ball. Bird just smacks it to straightaway center. Santana comes close, but there's the tying and the go-ahead run on a big 2-out or a big 2-strike hit by Bird. And look at him, he's pumped up, and rightfully so. They needed a base hit right there, and steps up big and got it.
Rajai Davis 0 for 3 on the night. Pops the first pitch up. And Mauer makes the catch to end the inning. But the Indians finally break through here in the bottom of the 8th. They score 3 to take a 7-5 lead.
Taking the lead from Minnesota in the bottom of the 8th as Cody Allen comes on. Al Pulowski, Jensen Lewis. We have Indians Live brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care right after this one. And really the 8th inning, story of bailout. See, Zach McAllister bailed out Brian Shaw. Marlon Byrd bailed out the Indians offense.
Yeah, big tip of the cap to Z-Mac. Those 2 punch outs, that really turned the momentum back over the Indians, gave them that chance. How about the Francisco Lindor at bat, Jose Ramirez laying off some eye heaters, and then the veteran right-handed bat, Marlon Byrd, huge double. Big turnaround for the Indians.
All right, join us for Indians Live after the game, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care.
Hey, Rick, I want to know from you, big man, Z-Mac, bigger performance or Marlon Byrd there, pal?
I like Z-Mac with the bases loaded, 1 out, and keeping it just a 1-run ball game. And then, you know, the way the Minnesota pen is going, you need that first base runner, and Lindor did a nice job to get on. But I think Z-Mac was bigger, in my opinion.
I'm sticking with Yan Gomes' 2-run homer.
See, everybody's got their own things.
And I just like the way this team's fought all night long. They have not led until this moment.
Right, coming into the bottom of the 8th. That's...
Especially after, you know, I know he had an off day yesterday to kind of get away from it, but the way that game ended in Houston the other day, good bounce back by this ball club here tonight. Now it's up to Cody Allen to try and seal it. Tyler Naquin takes over in right field. Naquin had played right field down in Columbus. Santana smokes one. Fair ball. And Naquin goes all the way to the wall to have to dig that one out. And Santana's going to try to go to the third. Lindor's throw overshoots his man. Otherwise, I think they might have had a shot at him.
You know, I guess when you're Minnesota, you try and make something happen. He certainly did. Santana can fly. And by the time they get that ball to third, he beats it out. It's good hustle. If he's thrown out, it's terrible because you're bringing the tying run to the plate now and getting to the top of the lineup. Let's see what happened. Naquin comes in, he makes the throw, short hops it off the glove of Kipnis, and then he decided to just keep going. So by the time Frankie could pick it up and throw to third base, that's going to have to be an error on Naquin because the ball never, you know, went off Kipnis's glove.
Yeah.
Bad throw.
It's a shame because if that throws on the money.
Well, I know it.
They got him.
But I give the kid credit for hustling because he's trying to make something happen there. But it's not a very good throw.
Joe Mauer takes a strike, but you know as well as I do if he's thrown out, you can't make the first or last out at third.
Well, and plus the tying run's at the plate now.
Yeah.
You know, and you're going to the top of the lineup. So you see it both ways.
Joe Mauer looks at a ball in the dirt. Two balls and a strike. It will not be a routine ninth inning for Cody Allen. And a foul back by Mauer. 2-2.
You remember that confrontation these two had in Minnesota where Allen was going to pitch around him. He didn't know whether to walk by. Remember that at bat? Epic when we were in Minnesota. He ended up getting the win or the save.
Now the 2-2. Fastball popped him up on the infield. Uribe backing up and makes the grab. As good an eye as Mauer has, that was maybe just a perfect pitch by Cody. It was up, it was in, he couldn't extend, couldn't really do anything with it. But with two strikes, too close to take.
Yes, it is. Too close to take and got in on him, or got it. That heater got on him in a hurry and he popped it up. That was a good pitch. Tough to get on top of 95, baby.
Especially when it's elevated just
it's
enough.
above the belt, man. For left-handers, the left-handers like the ball down much more so than they do upstairs.
Now here's Eduardo Nunez, who homered his last time up. And this guy has been on quite a roll. Came in batting .353. The home run, I guess, a little bit of a surprise. Not really a power hitter. It's only his second home run on the year. But there's a line drive, base hit into center field, and the Twins
a short, quick swing
have cut the gap to a single run. It's 7-6 now, and the tying run aboard with one out in the ninth. And Nunez with his second hit, second RBI of the game.
Boy, nothing's safe here. Takes a fastball, and you can see the short swing. That's why you're surprised when he hits the home run. He's not a power hitter by any means, but he can generate some bat speed to the baseball, and he gets a base hit there up the middle. So now it's a 7-6 game, so his hustle did pay off getting to third base. And now they have the tying run on base.
And Miguel Sano is the batter. Cody goes with a curveball for strike one. That's been an effective pitch for Cody to get ahead of hitters. Guys maybe sitting on fastballs early in counts, and he's been able to just flip that curveball over for a strike. Gives him just something else to think about. One strike count now.
Sano had a game-winning hit against the Indians in Minnesota.
Off Cody Allen.
Yes, it was.
Runner goes. Gomes throw to second. Offline, and a great job by Kipnis. Otherwise, the tying run's at third base.
No doubt. Kipnis flagged that one down. It was headed to center field.
Tell you what, gutsy by Nunez to steal the base.
He picked the right pitch, and look at the throw. It was way offline. I don't know if Gomes tried to adjust his course right there. He came back in, and he looked like he's not feeling too good. On his leg, he didn't go straight in. He took a half a step and tried to go back the other way. So now there's the tying run in scoring position with that stolen base. But that curveball was a strike, so it's a 1-2 count.
2-2.
2-2?
2-2 or 1-2?
I think it's 1-2.
Two pitch. Swung on and missed. He chased one in the dirt. And Gomes throws to first for out number 2. Now Cody Allen took advantage of the aggressive Miguel Sano and gets the second out of the inning. I mean, he never had a chance of hitting that ball. So it comes down to this. Trevor Plouffe against Cody Allen. Plouffe is hitless on the night, but he's one of the veterans in this Minnesota lineup. Swung out and missed. He started him off with the off-speed pitch. See hitters maybe a little aggressive early in counts, and that's where Cody's been able to take advantage and get ahead. $17,803 on a Friday night in downtown Cleveland. On their feet, and the 0-1 pitch. Just a bit outside. Called here. Now the 1-1. And that's in the dirt, blocked nicely by Gomes. But Plouffe laying off. It's 2-1. Hitter Park waiting on deck. You kind of get the feeling this is going to come down to a fastball.
Well, you just don't know here. I mean, Plouffe's usually a really good hitter. He's been out and he's missed some time on the deal. He's not swinging like he should, at least from what we saw tonight.
Up and away with a heater, 3-1.
Well, it looks like he's not commanding that heater like he normally does, so we'll see what he does on 3-1. Young Hope Park waiting on deck. Will he get a chance?
Or will Cody wrap it up here? He lays off ball 4, and now Minnesota has the go-ahead run at first, and we'll get a pinch runner as Darren Mastroianni will come on and run for Trevor Plouffe at first base. And Byung-Ho Park is coming to the plate, and he's already done enough damage here tonight.
Well, he certainly has. A couple of home runs. He's 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. So we're not going to make it any easier, but Cody's got to come get him now.
So Park has flied out and check swing grounded out in his last 2 trips. Swung out and missed at a curveball. In the dirt, runners trying to go to third. Oh, no throw by Gomes.
Yeah.
And Nunez gets in there safely.
Well, they're being aggressive out there. That doesn't matter. You block that pitch. Right now, you got to let Cody. There's 2 outs. He's worried about the hitter, that breaking ball in the dirt, and that's how you want to attack Park. He can get on that fastball. He doesn't want to hang one. He's trying to keep it down, and this guy's he's been in some pain, stealing second base and now going to third on the wild pitch.
Two balls and a strike.
Well, trying to dig deep right now. Cody having a tough time commanding that heater.
And the 2-1 runner at first breaks for second. Ripped to left, and it's a foul ball. Well, Park put a pretty good swing on that ball, but he was out in front of it and hooked it.
Well, watch, he leaves it upstairs with this curveball. He didn't want to bounce it. Now that the man's on third base, and the Park put a really good swing on it, but got out in front and the hook's foul. So you get to 2 strikes. Now you got to throw him that good curveball. See if you can get him to get down there and chase it.
But also now, remember, the tying run is just 90 feet away.
Well, you got to trust your catcher. And I know if Gomes calls it, he's going to be ready for it down there.
Runner goes again at first. Swing and a miss. He struck him out to end the ball game. Woo! It was quite a tightrope walk for Cody Allen tonight. But he makes it to the other side. And the Indians have a series opening win against Minnesota by a final score of 7-6.
Boy, oh boy, no quit in Minnesota. They came back and they pushed it right to their very last out. And Allen throws the fastball by him, down and away, and got it by him. Looked like Park was sitting on the breaking ball, and a big pitch by Cody. The Indians end up coming back, getting game number 1 of this 3-game series. So they had to work for it. They had to battle from behind to win it, but they do win it, and they're going off shaking hands.
And the Indians go to 17-15, equaling once again their high water mark on the year, 2 games above the break-even mark. And the Twins suffer their 8th straight loss, and they have lost 10 out of their last 11 overall as they fall to 8-26 on the year. Woo! What a Friday night here at the Ball-Yard. The Indians get a win. 7-6 is the final. We've got final thoughts right after this.